What if I told you there's one simple trick, one question so powerful that it can change the way you see the world forever? Not tomorrow, not someday, but right now, this very moment. Stay with me, because once you hear this story, you may never look at your life the same way again. Imagine a young girl standing outside her schoolyard as the final bell rings. Children rush past her, laughing, their backpacks bouncing with every step. She clutches her own bag, faded, patched, and far too small for the books stuffed inside. Her shoes are scuffed, the soles peeling at the edges. Her name was Sofia. Now, Sofia grew up in a modest neighborhood where her parents worked tirelessly just to keep the lights on. She wasn't ungrateful, she knew they loved her. But every single day at school reminded her of what she lacked. Other girls showed off new pencil cases, shiny shoes, colorful snacks neatly packed in boxes. Sophia's lunch was always the same: a plain sandwich wrapped in old newspaper. She would sit quietly at the corner of the lunch table, wishing she could be like them. To her, the world looked unfair, gray, unkind. One hot afternoon, as Sofia walked home, she stopped at the town square to rest. That's when she noticed an elderly woman sitting on a wooden bench. The woman had a basket of flowers by her side, simple wildflowers, not the kind you'd find in fancy shops. And yet, her face glowed with joy as she handed them to passing strangers. Children ran up, receiving the flowers like treasures, and the woman laughed warmly, her eyes sparkling. Sofia was puzzled. The woman wore clothes even older than hers. Her hands were rough from work, her shoes almost falling apart, and yet she radiated happiness. Finally, Sofia approached and asked shyly, "Why are you giving flowers away for free? Don't you need the money?" The woman smiled, pressing a tiny daisy into Sofia's hand. "I may not have much," she said softly, "but I always notice what's good around me. The sun is shining, the air is fresh, children are smiling. What else could I ask for?" When you choose to see what's right, the world becomes brighter even if nothing else changes. Those words struck Sofia's heart. She looked at the daisy. It wasn't a rose, not rare, just a simple flower from the side of the road. But suddenly, it seemed beautiful. She thought about her sandwich waiting at home. Plain, yes, but at least she never went hungry. She thought about her patched bag. Old, yes, but it carried books that gave her knowledge. She thought about her worn shoes. Scuffed, yes, but they carried her wherever she wanted to go. That day, Sofia walked home differently. The streets seemed more alive, her steps lighter, the world less cruel. She hadn't gotten new shoes, or a new bag, or money, but she had received something far more valuable: a new way of seeing. And that's the truth we often forget. The world doesn't always change, but when we change how we look at it, everything feels different. Days turned into weeks, and Sofia noticed something unusual. The more she practiced asking herself, "What's right with this moment?" the more her world shifted. At first, it felt forced, almost like pretending, but slowly, the habit grew natural.